Okay, so why did I get a rooftop tent? It's a question that I know a few of you will have. I know some people won't care about this, but I just wanted to share my thought process and my reasoning behind getting this tent, because this is no small feat. I mean, first off, it's expensive. Second off, it took a lot of modification to the Jeep to get it up there, and we had to find a storage solution at my house. So it's not like I just went out on a whim and got the tent. So first off, the expense. I mean, I've been saving for probably about 5 or 6 months, kind of thinking ahead, doing my research, looking at tents, watching videos on YouTube like everybody else. And I settled on this brand and this make just because I thought it fit me pretty well. CVT is not a sponsor, but they have pretty high quality tents, and for me, it was between CVT and 23-0. So I kind of thought that those tents were kind of the good brands to go to. The weatherproof, all season, all that kind of stuff. And ultimately, the deciding factor for CVT was that it was a little bit thicker bars on the inside. Came with the annex, and I got a good deal on it. They were having a fall sale, so that's why I pulled the trigger on it. Not like I just went out and bought it. I wish I could do that, but I'm really happy that I got this model, and it looks really good set up. So a couple of other reasons why I got the tent is security. Now, I like going out camping, but I really don't like camping by myself, especially when I'm on the ground, because I just feel like, there's a lot of stuff out here. An animal or a person could just easily walk up and they could look right in my tent, and that's not a big deal. I mean, I've done it before, but just even, having one night in the rooftop tent, I already feel a lot better because I'm now 6 feet up above everything else. Last night, there was a coyote running through. I found scorpions around. Not a big deal. I would have been fine in a ground tent, but just having that extra 6 feet is a little bit extra reassurance when I'm trying to get a good night of sleep. Setup time was pretty quick. This time, again, was the first time, so it took quite a bit of time. But I feel like every single time I do this, it's going to get a little bit faster. So the setup time really should improve with time. And with that, comfort. So when I go camping, I always use an air mattress because it's quick and easy, but this has a mattress built in. I can leave my sleeping bag up in the tent, and that was another factor for me in getting the rooftop tent, was that as soon as you can get it set up, you're ready to sleep. You don't have to find a patch of land. We're out here at Saddle Mountain, and there's a few spots, but it's really rocky. And likewise, if I wanted to go camp in the snow or the mud, that would be a big deal in a ground tent. Whereas this thing, I just have to park my Jeep somewhere level, and I'm good to go. It doesn't matter what's on the ground. And that is another reason why I got the rooftop tent. So last but not least is undoubtedly the cool factor. Obviously, these things are really popular. They're becoming more popular. And it's a good idea. I really like the idea behind it. And I think the application that a lot of people use it for is really cool. So going out, overlanding, off-roading, whatever you want to call it, where you're just going, campsite to campsite, or you're doing a lot of trails, this thing makes a lot of sense because it saves room inside the Jeep for other gear, and it's quick to deploy. And it kind of gives you a nice little base camp to set up your table. You have a overhang. You can set up the awning if you want. So it's a nice little home away from home that I really like that. So I didn't get it because I wanted to fit in with everybody. I just think it's a good idea. It is a really cool piece of technology that allows us to go out and just easily set up a camp. Now, every time I use it, will I be out overlanding through the Australian wilderness? Definitely no, but it's still really cool to be out here and have this tool to help me just enjoy camping that much more, and hopefully get out a little bit more as well. So that's just a few reasons why I ended up going with the rooftop tent. Really like it. So far so good. I've only had one night in it, but I'm hoping that this will encourage me to get out more. So if you're thinking about getting a tent, it is expensive, but if you break down the cost, I hope that this thing will last, say, 10 years. So that is $150 a year. And if I go out 10 times a year, hopefully more, that's 15 bucks every time I go out. And that's really not that bad in the long run. It beats any campground anywhere. It beats any hotel. If you're able to use it more, then it becomes beneficial to you. I think the rooftop tent is a lot like the GoPro when it came out. You know, they make these epic commercials. You know, it looks so cool. Everybody has to run out and buy one. And then you get one and you're like, well, crap, now what? And similar with the rooftop tent. I think that it's a really cool device, and the adventure part is up to you and how you use it. So I think that's really important to keep in mind. And that's what I hope to do going forward, is just getting out a little bit more, maybe doing some more overnight trips, having a nicer camp set up when I'm out with my cousin or out with my family or out with my friends. I'm able to just pop this thing up, have a good camp set up, got the table, everything else, awning. I think it's just a really good idea. So I hope that this video was a little bit informational and kind of shared my thought process behind it. It's definitely not, you know, just a snap decision you can make. It's going to take some time to get it, install it on your vehicle, make sure it's secure, and then run it through the paces like we're doing out here. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and can't wait to get back out on the trail with this thing and see how it does.